Hi there, welcome to another video. In this, I'll be talking about SYP, simple yet profound chess puzzles. These are insanely brilliant chess puzzles that really test your intelligence and gets your gray mat on fire. Let's get going. So, first question is what makes a SYP? Basically, these are pattern-breaking puzzles. So when you solve enough chess puzzles, when you play enough chess, you eventually become a pattern recognizing machine. You start recognizing patterns in different kinds of puzzles, different kinds of positions, and SYPs are basically puzzles that are curated, which which work because they break the typical pattern. Okay, so why solve SYPs? A simple answer: it makes you intelligent. For that, you have to first understand what intelligence is. And my definition of intelligence is that it helps you know the difference between similarities and similarities between differences. So, what makes SYP? So, let's kind of look at these puzzles. So, you typically have your checkmate puzzles and you have SYP puzzles. In a typical puzzle, the answer is often intuitive. And in a SYP, it's counterintuitive, which means your typical patterns don't work, your typical moves don't work. For instance, in a typical puzzle, you will have forcing moves that take you to the answer. You give a check, you try to capture something, you threaten something. In SYPs, these are often silent moves, the moves that look innocuous. You don't see much into it until it unravels. The response to a forcing move in a typical puzzle is often a single response and it's forced. It's almost like the opponent has no volition in terms of where he wants to move. It's decided because there's only one possible move, something like that. In SYP puzzles, there are multiple responses, and the beauty of an SYP puzzle is, despite the fact that it has multiple responses, it still leads to a check. So, how about we see all of this with an example? So here's your puzzle. It's checkmate in two moves. So take your time and think about it and pause the video. And I would really, really suggest that you try and solve this puzzle by yourself so that you understand the depth of the puzzle when you see it. Okay, welcome back. I hope you were able to spend some quality time trying to solve this puzzle. Let's look into the solution. Now, typically, a puzzle like this, you think about, okay, let me think forcing moves. And the forcing moves are usually checks. So there are multiple checks here. So this is a check, this is a check, this is a check, um, this is a check. At least these are safe checks, right? Like there are unsafe checks where king can just go. And of course, this is also a safe check. So the problem with all of these five different checks that's there, let me just mark out the squares. So the queen coming here, 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 here. So you have five possibilities, and the interesting thing is, in all five of them, you would not see the next move being a checkmate. It completely fails. It could happen in more number of moves, but definitely not in a short. So all your typical forcing moves fail. So there are multiple other things that you can keep, but you'll realize that no matter what you do, you would not be able to find the answer. So sometimes in a situation like this, you have to go back to fundamentals and start thinking about, okay, I have the knight. Knight can basically move to two different squares. Interestingly, both of them don't yield an answer, right? Because wherever the knight moves to right now, it's a stalemate. The king has either one or these different possible moves, and you realize that no matter where he goes, if he moves to the red square, which is c7, it's a stalemate. In every other square, you'd lose the knight, but you'd not be able to do the check after that. You think of the queen and you think of all the possible directions, which is in this case seven possible directions. One of them definitely has the answer because this is the overall set of possible moves for white, and it's a finite set, which means you will realize that one of them is the answer, and that answer is a silent. Okay, and that's why it's hard because you have to eliminate all the obvious intuitive moves to finally come at the correct answer that this is. Now here you'll realize that the king has two options. Now, typically your forced checkmate moves often have your opponent have one single response. But in this case, there are two responses. The beauty of it is that no matter what you do, whether he chooses to go to A, in which case there is a simple checkmate here, thanks to the knight controlling the escape square. And the other option, where instead of moving to A8, if he comes to B6, still have a checkmate, thanks to the knight, which controls it, and you have a swallow. So even the checkmates are counterintuitive. Typically, as you see, right, like a discovered check is not something that you see often when the board is this empty with probably. In this case, you never see a checkmate. The king goes to b6, a checkmate where the queen is actually on the edge of the board and the king is not. This is a very, very rare checkmate. You don't typically get to see this. These are the reasons why this puzzle is seemingly tougher than typical other checkmates. I hope you found this puzzle interesting. For you to test out a few more, I've given you a study, a link of which is there in the video. Please try and solve it. There are 5 puzzles. The first one is this one, but there are 4 other puzzles that you can solve, and they have different versions of it depending on the response, the potential response. Your key is to find the correct first move, which pretty much decides every other response. You can then kind of follow through, right? So please share that you try to solve the study and tell me how many of the 4 puzzles you got right. Thank you so much. I'll see you.